Right. Which comics have inspired...
Hello, Alex. How you doing?
That's even better. I'm good. Yourself?
I'm very good. Nice to meet you, Georgie.
Nice to meet you. So, Alex, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll start. Which
Yeah?
comics have inspired you?
Sean McAuliffe. He's an Australian comic, and he's very, very funny. Absolutely enjoy Sean McAuliffe. Look him up on YouTube. Fantastic. Very, very fantastic. He has inspired me to do so many different things in actual comedy. The way that he mixes the clever with the stupid, and that is what I really like about what he does. Moving closer to this wonderful country, you've also got obviously people like Jack D.
Jack D?
Jack D, yeah. I enjoy watching him, but that doesn't necessarily mean his stuff comes... I'm not a conduit for what he does.
Can you remember, like, who your first comedian was you saw live? That if you saw someone they made you
Reginald D. Hunter.
Uh-huh.
Wonderful for a first one. I'd love to see him.
Where did you see him?
Birmingham.
Birmingham.
Yeah, in Birmingham. It was at the station
Okay.
in King's Heath.
Okay.
Very, very nice.
Not bad, like it. So, what do you take out of your own life that you incorporate into your own comedy routine?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I don't want to sally... What's the point of reality? Nobody wants to know about reality.
You put a funny spin
Really?
on it.
No, if you're going to be a clown, which I do very well, really well, nobody wants to know about the idiosyncrasies of what actually happens. Oh, I was late today. Why? It doesn't really matter. It really doesn't matter. You don't want to be bogged down in reality and truth. So I will lie.
That's an interesting take on it. I quite like that, if I'm honest.
If you're honest. I see what you're doing there.
How did you get into comedy?
One of my mates went onto a comedy course and was taught by Anthony, I can't remember his surname, Anthony King, that's right, Anthony King, who is obviously one of Leicester's finest comics. And I saw what he did, he was very good, but I thought, you're doing it wrong, I'm going to do it my own way. That's how I went to start doing it.
Okay, so speaking of Leicester and comics, is there anyone you've seen or are planning to see in the comedy festival this month?
To be honest, no. Work commitments, but that's boring because that's real life.
True.
Don't want to talk about it.
When did you decide that comedy was what you wanted to go into?
I have done so many different things. I am a performer at heart. I know I come across as somebody who's shy and retiring, but the fact of the matter is I love being on stage. I love doing things. I do a lot of acting as well. In fact, actually, I will be in Nottingham at the Nottingham Arts Theatre from next week, Monday to Saturday, doing 40 Towers.
Oh, 40 hours.
40 Towers. I'm a couple of the guests, so I'm quite low in the pecking order.
I might try and check that out myself. Okay, so music, magic, mayhem, nihilism, and proving that fear of clowns is far from rational. Where'd you go from there? What's still in store for the comedic takings of Al Grant?
One of my colleagues in comedy once said, watching the clown act was like witnessing what going mad must be like. And if you see it, you'll understand exactly what he's saying.
How did you come up with your ideas for this show in particular?
I throw things together. I have a limited attention span, so I make sure that it will meet those requirements. I also have a story arc which, in effect, groups everything together. So it's just peppered with all these different things.
So would you say it's like all rather spontaneous?
It has that feeling.
Yeah.
So yes,
Good.
it is spontaneous,
Interesting.
but well rehearsed.
Okay.
Very well rehearsed spontaneity.
So spontaneity.
Yeah, spontaneity. Yeah.
I still feel like that's wrong.
It's okay. It's okay.
For any budding comedians who are starting up that would wish to draw something from you, what would be your number one critical piece of advice?
Number one critical piece of advice is listen to other people's advice, but don't take it. They are out to sabotage you. They don't want any competition. No. So just take the advice and act on it as you see fit.
Should they take your advice?
As you see fit. When are you performing? Alex.
I think I was meant to perform last week and I didn't.
Why?
I didn't rehearse.
All right, I'll tell you what. Another thing which I will actually recommend, which you can take or leave as you see fit, is turn up to your gigs that you're booked for and perform.
Most certainly.
The audience has a right to be disappointed with what you do. They don't have a right to be
Let down.
disappointed by you not being there. Once again, take it with a pinch of salt.
Nothing but fair there.
Who would you love to do, like, go on tour with, or be a warm-up act for?
Weird Al Yankovic.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
damn
love
right.
them.
Well, obviously, I don't want to meet Sean McAuliffe because he is fantastic, and I don't think he's going to come from Australia just to do some gigs in Leicester, which is quite disappointing, really.
Okay.
It is, isn't it?
Seeing as you mentioned with Al Yankovic as well, when you Google your name with comedian, many photos of him come up. Is there any particular reason to that? Is this widely known that you'd love to tour them, perhaps?
It's something which I'm not
Used
aware
to.
of.
Well, there's something we've got a bit of exclusive on.
What did you want to be when you were younger? Like, have you always
A
wanted to
doctor. I always wanted to be a doctor.
be? Any reason?
Because I am altruistic.
Okay.
Not altruistic, altruistic. I'm a regular blood donor. I've donated 30 units of blood, sorry. I'm typo negative. It's classified as neo. It's not to do with the matrix. It means it goes to neonatal care. So if you're an ill baby who's just been born, my blood goes into you, and I help save your life. Give blood if you can.
Definitely do that.
Yeah.
Have you
Unless you've got AIDS. Don't give it if you've got AIDS.
have you had any memorable gigs that stand out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Care to tell us?
Yeah. A couple of years ago, I had a show called Al Grant's Don't Poop Your Pants. Because I went to the Hull Comedy Festival in Kingston upon Hull, and unfortunately, this man was clearly inebriated and under the influence of various chemicals, and he was steaming in both senses of the word. You could actually smell the human excrement off him. It was quite unpalatable. People were just... This miasma of foulness just pushed people away from him. And we were sitting on chairs similar to this, but without the arms. And as I sang one of my songs and clapped, he kicked his chair back. And when he stood up, after knocking the person that he knocked into, there was a new bulge in his trousers in the behind. He brought the place down, basically, and the weird thing was that chair was removed and cleaned, allegedly, before he was managed to be evicted from this place.
Where did this happen?
Kingston upon Hull.
Okay.
Yes. I've got other ones as well, but we'll keep it short.
Was that like the one that stood out in your mind?
That's the one. Well, it actually stood out of his. Yeah. These things happen.
Yeah.
There's quite a few people there. It was shocking. It's shocking. You don't shit yourself. I travelled 200 miles round trip to watch a grown man shit himself. Thank you very much.
He shouldn't pay. He shouldn't pay to see him.
I shouldn't know, but I did, kind of.
Sort of. Mediocre Gina. I'll say that one.
Mediocre Gina.
Gina. I like that. Okay, so a mediocre genie comes out of a mediocre land and offers you a mediocre wish. What mediocrity do you wish for?
Mediocrity. Mediocrity. I think I'd actually go for something along the lines of an IKEA lamp.
Not bad, lad.
It's subtly, the one which looks like a Death Star, which costs 52 quid, which is white on the outside and orange on the inside. Look it up.
I feel like the mediocre part of this is you've still got to build it yourself, even if it's free.
That's why it's mediocre.
Yeah.
I guess to wrap it up, of course, the most serious question of them all.
Oh, okay.
If you could be a cocktail, what type of cocktail would you be?
The Devil's Advocaat, which is a combination of Coke, Advocaat obviously,
Of course.
lime, and a sprig of... I've forgotten the name of the chili. The red one, which is a pickled one. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then just pouring a little bit of pitted pitted green things. Not grapes, the other ones, savoury grapes. Olives, that's
Olives.
what. Yeah, throw that, and that's what it'd be.
Okay.
The devil's avocat.
Any particular reason why? Does it
Because it's sweet and there's some nasty surprises.
just like your show?
My show's not sweet.
Just a load of nasty surprises.
Better.
But the balloons, people love balloons. It is just brilliant.
All the balloons.
Well, thank you very much for interviewing me.
Right, thank you.
No, you're supposed to say you're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, but also, as
Thank
you
you
did
for coming along.
say, thank you.